And we have to make a correction. You know, we always, whether it's the experience, the Jim Cornette experience with the quality host that comes out every weekend, or whether it's this program in adjunct to that other program, the Drive-Thru, with the suspicious quality host, we always correct ourselves when we've made a misstatement or we've been in error. We retract wrong information. I think this is the appropriate place to do that now before we get started with any more wrong information. We'll apologize for what we've gotten wrong in the past. Everybody says I don't do this. Everybody says, Cornette, you never admit it when you're wrong. There's a reason for that. There's not been any instances of me being wrong, but in this case, you were wrong about something, Brian, and we want to correct that immediately. You said that Daniel Bryan's entrance music was the Flight of the Bumblebee. And it was indeed, instead, Ride of the Valkyries.
No.
The what?
No. You see, WWE has banned any future use of the word Valkyrie because there's one Valkyrie on the roster. The other Valkyrie, who already pre-existed, had to change her name. So it is, in fact, now Ride of the Bumblebee.
Ride of the Bumblebee. Well, you said Flight of the Bumblebee.
I misspoke. I apologize for misspeaking on the previous episode.
You know what? When you said that, when was that? Just this past weekend, right?
Yeah, that was on the Experience. Yeah.
we were talking about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Interesting statistic we'll get to in a minute here, but it's your program. But anyway, I'm just saying we were talking about that, and you said, well, I wonder if Tony Khan will pop for the music rights. He got he'll pay for music. We've seen that with Wild Thing and whatever that garage band is that Pockets comes out to. Will he pop for the music? And we mentioned that CM Punk had Cult of Personality, and you said and Daniel Bryan had Flight of the Bumblebee. And then you went, but it didn't even, I thought for a second, but I was intently listening to the point that you were making, which was a valid and perceptive and insightful comment that you were making. I didn't want to break in when something like that doesn't happen that often with you. So we wanted to try to keep the flow going. And then I lost it after that when we started going. But Flight of the Bumblebee, it would be interesting to see somebody, actually Tony Khan, that would be the perfect music for him. And he could blink his eyes in time with the. It's not the Green Hornet, though. It's dun 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 dun, right? The big glorious stuff. The formerly Ride of the FKA Valkyries in the WWE.
That's right. And by the way, I think Tony Khan will probably, the more I thought about it, because when I was listening back and editing, I was like, did I just say Flight of the Bumblebee?
Yeah.
But I think they'll probably go back to the Final Countdown for Bryan Danielson.
Oh, I thought you meant it was just the theme of their promotion. It's the Final Countdown. How many more people you think they can afford over there? Has he spent not only the money that Shad Khan, his dad, was going to leave him, but also is he breaking into his sister's inheritance now to blow it while Shad's still around?
Let's be honest. He's not even close to the limit. If his dad's worth multiple billions of dollars, and let's say he just leaves his son a sixth, that still gives him $1 billion at least, depending on inflation and the market value.
$1 billion.
So, no, he has not come close.
You don't think he's got to $1 billion yet, even if he overpays Pockets?
No, I think there's a lot of people. I mean, that's going to be the very interesting thing. I'm very curious how Tony Khan handles, beyond the Jake the Snake renegotiations, which led to him getting a 2-year deal, which is amazing. I'm curious how Tony's going to handle the renegotiations. That he didn't ask for,
by the way. Don't bury the lead. That he thought he was signing for a year, and he said, I looked at the paper, and it was for 2 years. Which, number one, that apparently indicates that Jake will sign anything set in front of him without reading it. And number two, that are there negotiations with Tony? Have you heard of anyone being in serious, bloody negotiations over salary with Tony Khan, or does he just ask them what they'd like to make when they come in?
I can't answer that, and I agree. Jake will sign anything. Jake will drink anything, including his own urine, but only for respect. Now, I haven't heard too much about...
Now, this one's mine, and that one's urine.
Okay. I haven't heard too much about the direct negotiations in terms of any difficulties or any problems with price. I mean, I can tell you.
I mean, think about this it's not only on the announce team, the world's largest announce team. Mark Henry didn't get what he wanted from Vince, got what he wanted from Tony Khan. Big Show didn't get what he wanted from Vince, got what he wanted from Tony Khan. And also apparently old Malachi Throne, no, he was actually the character actor that, unbeknownst to most people, played the character of Falseface in the Batman TV series. He was always billed as ? But nevertheless, Malachi, what's his last name? Smith? Jones? Black. He didn't get what he wanted from Vince. Everybody's getting what they want from Tony Khan. I wonder if he just asked them coming in, what would you like to make in wrestling?
You know what? I'm going to open an email here. I'm not going to use the person's name.
It's one of those kind of emails.
It's one of those, but I know who this person is. I don't know them personally, but I know who they are, and the email covers a number of different issues.
So what you're saying is you know who they are, but if they have committed any crimes in the nature of bestiality or anything like that they'll later be popped for, you're not vouching for them personally.
I hate to put it in those terms, but yes, correct. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
But this is from a portion of this email, and it says, don't use with my name. I have been friends with Luther for years. Here's what I know about AEW and Jericho.
Unless Luther's really a blabbermouth, you've pretty much narrowed it down right there.
Here's what I know about AEW and Jericho. When Chris signed the deal, he told Luther it was for a set amount of appearances, not matches, and for more money than he had ever made per event. Chris said there were 8 guys that were good workers and the rest were the shits, his exact words. Chris just laughed about Tony all the time. Luther's doing well financially and has moved from Oregon to Atlanta. So whatever that says about the negotiations, to your question.
Well, now let's drop back here for a second in the last part of this email. How did a baked potato with arms and legs from Canada, who was an outlaw mud show darling in Japan 25 years ago, end up in Oregon, where he's been out of the wrestling business and the business has been better for it for the last 20 years, and suddenly is now moving to Florida? I wonder if he was in the Federal Witness Protection Program. That's why he was in Oregon. That's a good place to hide people. Anyway, I think negotiations with Tony Khan are like the way most people negotiate with their wife. When they say, honey, can I have this? Yeah, because it's easier. And then for both sides,